This is Dave Baker, and I'm going to give you my review of All New Wolverine #1, Batman 46, and The Goddamned #1. First up, we're going to talk about All New Wolverine, written by Tom Taylor, with art by David Lopez and David Navarrete. I am not going to lie, I was not expecting to read this book. I was not expecting to like this book. I don't care about X-23, and I had no interest in it. And I walked into the store this week, and it just jumped off the shelf at me. I can't express how excited I am about All New Wolverine. It's my new favorite X book, which is saying a lot. This issue specifically is a kind of cold open a la James Bond, so it's all about Laura Kinney, aka X-23, aka All New Wolverine, aka the character that you thought you didn't care about, but apparently now you care about, trying to save this diplomat character, and then discovering there's this weird cult of other clones of her, because she's a clone of Wolverine. Then there's a flashback sequence that's this really kind of nice and poignant and sweet conversation that she has with Wolverine after being shot with a bazooka while she's healing and slowly putting her intestines back inside of her. They have this great heart-to-heart moment. I really, really dug this book, and I did not think that I would. Highly recommended. Please go pick it up. Next up this week, we're going to talk about Batman 46 by Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo. This issue sees Commissioner Gordon, who is now Batman, fighting Mr. Bloom, who's the new, shiny, nobody knows who he is, big bad supervillain in Gotham City. This issue was a little bit of a weaker one for me. I've really, really loved everything that Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo have been doing on this book, and I'm really nervous that Greg Capullo is leaving for 6 issues to do a book with Mark Miller. I really wish he wasn't doing that, mostly because I don't really care about Mark Miller's creator-owned stuff. Don't really like it. Anyway, I didn't really care for this issue that much. I was kind of surprised. I've been looking forward to it. The last issue had a big cliffhanger, and this one was kind of not exactly what I wanted. It was not a big resolution. It was not a big climax. Nothing really happened. They just kind of laid the groundwork for the story going forward. There was some cool stuff with Duke, the new Robin. That stuff was interesting. But honestly, this felt like an issue that they needed to do to get to the real issue. Like, it feels like 47 or 48 is going to be the issue that I wanted this issue to be. So, we'll see. Finally this week, we're going to talk about The Goddamned by Jason Aaron and R.M. Guerra, the team from the critically acclaimed Vertigo book Scalped, which I'm sure that you have read. And if you haven't read, you should go pick it up because it's freaking awesome. The Goddamned is Jason Aaron and R.M. Guerra doing the Bible, which is kind of weird. I did not expect to be buying a book about the Bible, but it's basically Bible fan fiction, or Bible. The way I was describing it earlier today was the Bible version of Conan. The book follows Cain, the character from the Bible, who is now an unkillable barbarian wandering the wasteland. And contending with other barbarian foes who may or may not be based on biblical figures. Yeah, I did not expect to care about this book, but I'm not gonna lie, R.M. Guerra's sequential work is amazing. There's like a 10-page fight sequence in the middle of this issue. It's just mind-blowing. It's dense and energetic and feels like everything that I want out of a barbarian comic. And if you've never read the Bible before, you probably will think this is a lot cooler, because you'll be like, well, these characters are so crazy, when in fact they're not all that far from their actual biblical counterparts. I mean, they are. I mean, Cain is like basically Conan in here, but, you know, it's kind of weird. I'm kind of into it, kind of not into it. Mostly not into it just because I don't care about the Bible, but kind of into it because it's 2 creators I care about doing a weird Bible comic, and also there's weird dinosaurs in it. So, Bible comics plus dinosaurs, if that sounds like something you're into, pick it up. I'm sure going to keep buying it just because it's the weirdest comic on the shelves right now. Those are the books I read this week. If you'd like to find comics that I write, you can find them at theactionhospital.com. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that'd be much appreciated because Joe and Josh could use the money. And if not, well then, you know, you won't get to hear me talking about the books that I'm going to read next week, which will be a big bummer for you because a lot of books are coming out next week that are going to be cool.